some more trees.
Yeah.
Or is it just-
Well, my son's trying to go back up on the gateway.
Listen, I'm telling you.
I don't know if this will come out.
Even
When it comes,
when
it's
it
up. Yeah.
Yeah.
he said he's getting me right now. He sent me a note on Monday. He said tonight.
How do I feel about your place? You know,
Well, we're ending up with a lot of stumps all over the place. Yeah, I
I want to make, I
like
want to make it pristine.
Beaver disappeared.
Very good. I'd like to have everyone to stand for the pledge of the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Commissioner Broomall said she will be here for Wednesday's meeting, but she's still rehabbing that new hip. Very good. Do we have a motion to approve the minutes of August 15th? We have a motion
Second.
and a second. Any discussion on the minutes? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Financial report and payment of the bills. Do we have a motion to approve the financial report?
So moved.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the financial report? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Lou, you're on.
Okay, first item, Elk Landing Foundation alcohol waiver. The Historic Elk Landing Foundation is having a wine tasting event, or historic beer tasting event. I don't know if that's Stella or not, on September 28th of 2018. And they were requesting a waiver from the mayor and commissioners. And I would recommend that the Historic Elk Landing Foundation be granted such a waiver.
We have a motion to approve the alcoholic waiver for Elk Landing, the historic beer tasting event
So
on
moved.
September 28th. We got a motion? Second. And a second. I can tell you, I went there last year and I absolutely loved it. And I encourage the board and town staff and as many residents of the community that could go to that. It was a wonderful event. And we just got a grant to move forward with doing the windows and the doors at Elk Landing. So all we'll have to do is have the inside of the Steelman house finished, and I think that we're on our way to having more and more and more events down at Elk Landing. I think it'll be, everyone will be very happy about that. So we had a motion and a second. Any more discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Okay, the second item has a resolution R10, 2018 Community Legacy Grant Application. A resolution of the Mayor and Commissioner of the Town of Elkton approving the application and receipt of financing for a community legacy project for the Elkton Downtown Facade Grant Program, further described in the application submitted to the Department of Housing and Community Development on June 15, 2018. To be financed either directly by the Department of Housing and Community Development or through other departments or agencies of the state of Maryland. Whereas the Mayor and Commissioner of the Town of Elkton recognize that there is a significant need for reinvestment, revitalization in Cecil County and the Elkton community. And whereas the Town of Elkton supports the continuation of the successful facade improvement program targeting commercial properties in downtown Elkton. And whereas the department, either through Community Legacy Neighborhood Intervention, Strategic Demolition Fund, Baltimore Regional Neighborhood Initiative, or through other programs of the department, or in cooperation with other Maryland department and agencies, may provide some or all of the financing for the project in order to assist in making it financially feasible. And whereas the project is located within a priority funding area under Section 5-7B-02 of the Smart Growth Act, and the project will conform to the local zoning regulations. And whereas the application, law, and regulations require approval of the project and the project financing by the Mayor and Commissioner of the Town of Elkton, and by Mayor Robert J. Ault as Chief Elected Executive Officer of the Town of Elkton. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and Commissioners of the Town of Elkton hereby endorse the project in the sustainable community area and approve the request for financial assistance in the form of a grant in the amount of $50,000. And be it further resolved that Mayor Robert J. Ault, as the town's Chief Elected Executive Official, is hereby authorized to execute any and all documents and take any action necessary to carry out the intent of this resolution. Be it resolved that this resolution be sent to the Honorable Kenneth P. Cole, Secretary, Department of Housing and Community Development of the State of Maryland.
We have a motion to approve Resolution R10-2018, the grant application facade grant award, I guess.
Second.
And we've got a motion and a second. Any discussion? Mary Jo, can you tell us how much we've received now in grant funding?
We're probably around $750,000 in facade grant funding. And the financial assistant is on the property owner or business that's applying for this. So the state gives 50% and the property owner or business gives the other 50% of their improvement.
Very good. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Last I have is a proclamation P14, 2018, Constitution Week. A proclamation of the Mayor and Commissioner of the Town of Elkton declaring the week of September 17th through the 23rd, 2018, Constitution Week in the Town of Elkton. Whereas when delegates to the 1787 Constitutional Convention began working on what will become the United States Constitution, they understood that democracy must be built upon the foundation of national consent for the federal government as well as respect for individual rights. And whereas after more than 2 centuries of continual cultural, legal, and economic change, our unique experiment in self-government has borne witness to the forethought and timeless wisdom of our founding fathers. And whereas throughout our country's history in times of turmoil and peace, liberty and oppression, our faith and our Constitution's promise of freedom and democracy has been steadfast rock of national stability against the raging seas of political change. Whereas our nation celebrates the longest lived written constitution in world history, as well as an enduring commitment of our forebears who upheld the Constitution's core principles through the travails of American history. They pursued a more perfect union, successfully seeking constitutional amendments that have strengthened the protections while providing to all Americans under law. In so doing, they rendered the moral resolve of our nation stronger and clearer. And whereas the Republic would surely founder, but for the faith and confidence that we collectively place in our Constitution, and it could not prosper without diligent commitment to upholding the Constitution's original words and implementing its founding principles. And whereas the head of Elk chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution has requested that the town of Elkton recognize the United States Congress Joint Resolution of August 2nd, 1956, declaring the week of September 17th through the 23rd of each year Constitution Week. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and Commissioners of the town of Elkton hereby proclaim the week of September 17th through the 23rd, 2018, Constitution Week in the town of Elkton.
Do we have a motion to approve proclamation P14-2018?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. And I'd like to invite Mary. Come on down, we've got a proclamation for you. We'd like to give this to you. And thank you so much for bringing this to our attention, a Constitution Week. And we're going to get, you guys want to come? Let's bring you up here. Can we bring you up top? We'd love to get a photograph. Slide this one. We got our own little routine here. You're perfect right there. That'll be perfect. I'll be the rose between two thorns. You ready? Here we go. Big smile. Okay. 1, 2, and 12. Got it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
And being a daughter of the American Revolution, now, who was your ancestor?
Jonathan Osborne in Grayson County, Virginia.
Very
He's
good.
only one of potentially 120 pieces that everyone can have.
Wow.
These are my age great grandmother.
Very nice. I do.
Thank you.
I think so. Well, I know on my wife's side, there's, I think, quite a few connections.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
completes my business.
Thank you, Lou. All right, I got a few here. The first thing I'd like to bring to the board's attention, last year we placed an ad in the Golden Elks Band Showcase, I'm going to say flyer, and I think we've all agreed that we're going to move forward with it again this year, but I'd just like to read what's going to be in the program. It'll be from the mayor and commissioners to the Elkton High School Golden Elks Marching Band. Be it known that on behalf of the citizens of the town of Elkton, we hereby recognize and commend the members of the Elkton High School Golden Elks Marching Band and the Music Boosters, whose time, dedication, and commitment have taken this group to the Tournament Bands competition. It is with great pride that we hereby confer this citation for special recognition. And it's going to be, of course, for the whole board. So that'll be the ad that'll be in the program. I wanted to bring up, I had a meeting today with the first time I've lived in Cecil County my whole life. And I had my first visit to Northrop Grumman today. And Northrop Grumman used to be, of course, Morton Thiokol, then ATK, and of course now Northrop Grumman. But I have to say it's not in the town of Elkton limits, but they're close enough that, quite frankly, we should have been there a long time ago. And I was very happy that the management took time to meet with me, and I expressed to the folks at Northrop Grumman that the town of Elkton is here for them in any need that they have. They do a lot to serve our country. One additional thing, we brought up, we've got the Grand Prix race coming up on October the 6th, and it was brought to one of the members of the committee, brought to our attention during one of our town meetings that there was a request to remove or alter speed humps, and our response back to them that we were going to speak with our town administrator to see if he felt it was a feasible thing to do. And I sent Lou an email and he got back to me, and the bottom line was Lou responded back that it's, they were put there for safety, and it was more of a, it's not feasible to remove them. And I concur with that. So that was a response. I think that I don't know if that's something that we need to bring to a vote or just leave it as it is. Lou, you have any recommendation on that?
My recommendation is they remain. We use the highway user revenue to put them in, probably at an expense of probably about $6,000 for safety purposes, and the board had expressed over a number of meetings and times the need for speed humps to reduce traffic and calming in that area. So that's why they're implemented. I don't see a one event to eradicate them, even temporarily, at great expense.
The board good with that?
Yes.
So we send a letter to the hospitals just so they know our decision.
Yeah, I think that would be good. Lou, can you follow up with a letter to them? Very good. And I guess the last thing I wanted to mention today, there was the town applied for a couple grants for the new community center, and we're not really sure what the cost is going to be on that community center yet, but we've been pre-planning. We're attempting to impact our taxpayers of our town as little as possible, so we've applied for several grants. We applied for one grant for $500,000, and it saddens me to say that we did not receive that grant. We also applied for a grant for $800,000, and I am very happy to state to you that we received a letter that the town of Elkton has received On behalf of Governor Larry Hogan and Lieutenant Governor Boyd Rutherford, it's my pleasure to inform you that the Town of Elkton request for the Community Development Block Grant funds have been approved in the amount of $800,000. So, fantastic. So, with the $800,000 here and the $500,000 that we had put aside, we've got $1.3 million toward whatever that number is. We're getting close to determine that, but great job, everybody. Gene Minner, I know, did a lot of work on that grant application, but it's fantastic. We're moving in the right way. Thank you. Charles, anything this evening?
No, other than the fact to say that, Elkton has some identity, and I appreciate the work Gene Miller has done, so that minimizes our attempt when it comes financing to the recreational center. So that's good news. That's it.
Anybody have anything to say except for commend the police department and the public works for what they've been doing for the town for the last, not just years, but months. I would just say they've really been doing an outstanding job. It's very noticeable, not just myself, but even citizens. I go to work and I hear good things coming from both sides of good, and I'm just commending them. So,
Fantastic.
Department. Police department.
My turn?
Your turn.
I have a couple things this evening. First of all, Fall Fest is coming up September 14th and 15th. I can't believe it's here already, a week from Friday. So everyone come out downtown. Our food vendors are full. We can't accept anyone else. We have everything from cotton candy and funnel cakes to cheesesteaks and whatever else there's on that list. So please come out. The entertainment's going to be great. The voice contest and Bobby Ann's Dance Studio will be performing, and it is their 70th anniversary, so there's going to be something special happening with that as well. Also, I wanted to bring up the downtown, the food trucks and hot dog carts. It's been talked about throughout all the Maryland designated main streets for probably a year's time. But, we want to welcome them to our community, but I would like us at next week's workshop to look, I have, if you'd like to look right now, Bel Air's map of what they just did. But they, in the pink is where they're allowed to be, and in the yellow is where they're not designated. So I would like us to look at the downtown as a whole, because we right now have 6 food vendors or food brick and mortar businesses downtown, and 1 on the way. So we want to make sure that lunchtime foot traffic, they take well advantage of the people that are here paying taxes and investing in our community. Not that they're not with their trucks and everything else, I understand that. But if we could do this at next week's workshop, I would greatly appreciate it.
Very good. Lou, can you make sure that we have a map of the downtown area very similar to this? And I think that between staff and would you rather have staff create some areas, or do we want to talk, you want to work with staff? I know they got
I think all of us should work. If they think of, if the staff can think of some areas and then we're able to discuss it, that would be great.
Lou, maybe you can bring it up at the staff meeting tomorrow, and then we'll look at it next Wednesday, and I think that we could kind of firm up some things.
Can you minimize that map and send it to us so we can have a prior vision of that before we come?
Of Bel Air?
Right.
Yeah, I actually do have a smaller version.
Well, Michelle.
So I'll give that to Michelle. You have this one?
Yeah, and you can download it off of their website, but we'll run through copies.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just thinking that maybe you might want to make sure you invite the restaurants and the eating establishments in the town limits so that they can be involved with this, so that you don't encroach on any of their businesses.
Okay. Or maybe if they're not, because it is lunchtime or workshop, we get some letters together or something.
Perfect.
on how they feel. And that's it.
Very good. Well, this is the time of the meeting. We open up the floor for the public to say anything good for the town of Elkton. Mr. Ed Ginder.
Oh, jeez.
I think it
And
might be a
Ed's
good idea.
address is Hunter Place.
I think it might be a good idea if the planning commission had some input as far as just some idea as far as vendors. Since we do a lot of that,
Yeah, that's a good point. The planning commission meets on Monday prior to the workshop, so I think that would be actually great that we put that on the planning
I will
commission's.
leave Michelle the big map.
I think it's a great idea, thank you.
and also the vines on Bridge Street, that bridge over the railroad are appearing again. They need to be cut back. I don't know if the state highway or the town's responsibility.
You're saying the vines on the Walter Baker Bridge?
No, the big bridge over the railroad tracks.
Okay, over the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
Very good. I'd like to recognize our councilman, future councilman, Bill Counts. I'm going to say future councilman, but I believe that,
Thank you.
good seeing you here. Glad you're here.
Optimistic view, right?
There you go. Anyone else have anything to say this evening? Max, stand up and say your name and address and where you're at. I think everyone knows.
Max Cranmer. That's Central Tavern, 107 East Main Street. Just want to speak on behalf of downtown restaurant. Can't speak for everybody, I can't speak for us. But the hot dog vendors, it is impacting our lunchtime business on that.
You want to sit over there? You can take weight off.
It's impacting our lunchtime business. You came in for lunch today, you saw it. It was slower than it had been.
Mhm.
The hot dog vendors out front of the courthouse. We're investing in downtown Elkton. Paying taxes, everything that you mentioned. I don't know what they potentially bring to downtown Elkton. It's, people aren't walking down the street, they're stopping, getting a hot dog, going back to what they have to do. They're not going in Brooklyn, they're not going to Howland Page, they're not going to Sport. It's not good for anything downtown. With the volume of traffic that comes in and out of the courthouse, that is potential business for downtown companies. So, I am against them being on Main Street. If there's other areas down here by the hospital, completely acceptable. People don't want to eat at the cafeteria every day. It does get expensive, but that's a much further walk to Main Street, you know what I mean? Is there other areas that you guys can find? I'm sure, but I don't think that right on Main Street, outside of one of the most populated buildings during the day, is a good spot for downtown.
Understand.
That's all.
How many vendors are down there? Just one I saw down at District Court, that's new, correct?
Yes, and
then-
that's what we're speaking on.
I understand that, but is there one at the?
No, it's the same one.
No, it's the second.
There was a second one up there.
Oh, yeah? I'm sorry.
Yeah, there was a hot dog and then I think there was like a funnel cake or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all. But we have been slower during the week when they're there. And, you know, we get a lot of foot traffic from people on jury duty, people that have hearings and trials, whatever. And it is definitely noticeable to our business.
Very good. Well, we'll be talking about it Monday night at the planning commission meeting and Wednesday here in our workshop.
Fair enough.
Thank you, Max.
Thank you.
Anyone else have anything to say this evening? Seeing none, hearing none, this meeting is adjourned.
Frank?